Well, this is going to be a bit of an unceremonious start to these series of videos, but I don't know if you can tell, but the weather's not very good this morning, so I kind of don't want to stop in the rain too much. But it would be rude of me not to say hello right at the start of what's probably going to be the hardest thing that I've done in my entire life, to be honest. And that is cycling the length of Japan from south to north. But I'll give you a bit more information when you know. I'm not stood under the rain and I've got a little bit of shelter. But as a basic layout, today I'm starting in Kagoshima in Kyushu, and I'm making my way all the way up north to Sapporo in Hokkaido. And that's also going to include a cheeky little loop of Hokkaido as well, so looking forward to that. So it's day one, got about 80 kilometers or so to do, but I've barely ridden any of it and I'm already soaked through, so I think I'm just going to hop straight back on the bike, get some kilometers in, and I'll talk to you again when I get a bit of shelter. First quick fuel stop of the trip at this lovely little bakery, and you know, there's not too much shelter around here to actually eat anything from there, but you know, I guess the cover of the trees will have to do. And you know, I'm not a massive fan of the rain or anything, but as I said in my Wajishima video, when it's all misty on top of the hills and mountains, it does add a nice little extra bit of ambience to it. And the lovely person at the store also gave me 3 slices of bread as a free gift, which, thinking about it now, they've just kind of given me the corner pieces that clearly no one buys, but you know, it'll make a nice sandwich at camp later. Hey, fucking hell, I knew it was going to rain today, but my lord is it wet. Still able to see some decent views in the mountains though. At the start of a 10-kilometer climb right now, which is the longest climb I've done in a long time. Nice way to start off your first ride of this journey, but at least I've got some lovely scenery to do it in. Roads have gotten way quieter now. At least this climb's been very ambient so far, because I'm touching the small mountain roads now. Whew, it's getting tough. Just went into the first shop that I've seen in a couple of hours just to try and get some sort of lunch in me, because it's well past lunchtime now, but there's absolutely nothing in the shop, so got to survive on my emergency calorie mates for just a little bit longer. Well, I say just a little bit longer, but I actually have no idea, to be honest. I know Isa is about 34 kilometers away, because that's how much I've got left, but I do still have this lovely scenery to enjoy in the meantime. Yeah, I stopped to talk to the camera because it stopped raining for like 10 minutes, but seems like it's starting up again immediately. And as well, to be honest, never really worked out how I'm going to film this, because with this being such a long ride, I've had quite a lot of stuff to organise and get ready, so it's kind of been in the back of my mind, but hopefully it doesn't come off too all over the place. So what I'll do, I'll probably split it up by like prefecture or island or something like that. So the one you're probably watching right now is the Kyushu edition of my journey. Maybe. You know, that's a problem for future me, like 3 months down the line. But hopefully in the next couple of days when it's not raining, I'll have shot a gear video, which will go out before this video does. So I'll have taken you around my bags already. But I was a little bit worried because these front bags are brand new and I've not ridden with them yet. But it seems like with the addition of them, the weight's spread out across the bike quite nicely. So it's been a really nice ride, to be honest. And even though it started to rain again, at least it's not cold. I've actually got my legs out today. But I will say I've done something similar to Awajishima, and instead of sun cream, I forgot to put insect repellent on this time until like an hour ago. So my right leg's been absolutely munched on, which is lovely. But I don't want the insects to have all the fun, so I'm gonna get off and find some food now. I'm very lucky to find something within a couple of minutes, so I think this should keep me going for the time being. I think it's time I deploy the leg warmers now, because I'm still at quite a bit of elevation. It's starting to get a bit chilly now. So hopefully it's one of the few times I have to use the leg warmers on this trip, as the weather gets gradually warmer and warmer. And before I keep chatting and pointing the camera directly away from this view, check out where I am. And that little stop there also marks my first little interaction with a local on this trip. Because I've been on quite a few cycle trips now in Japan, but I've never really had that happen before, to be honest, now that I think about it. And I just about stumbled through the interaction, which I'm happy enough with, because throughout my time here, one of the things that I'm actually really disappointed in myself about is that I've not really dedicated enough time to learning the language, to be honest, because like, I'm here for a limited time. I'm here on a 1-year visa, so I've tried to cram as much stuff in as possible, like just seeing stuff and doing stuff. And because I've been working full time as well, I've only been giving myself like small slithers of time in the evenings to try and learn the language, and it's just not enough time, and I've not developed far enough. But what I am going to do though, when I'm sitting around some of these campsites that I'm going to, well, there's not too much else to do, I'm at least going to try and nail down everything that I need to know relating to what I'm doing here, because that's what I'm going to be asked the most. So at least it looks like I'm having smooth conversations with people. And then I freeze up for 30 seconds not knowing what to do when they ask me anything outside of it. But at least I told the nice shopkeep that I'll be in Hokkaido in June, and he wished me luck, so that was nice. Right, I've not touched the GoPro for a little bit, but I've made it to Ise, which is the city where my campsite is for the night. And this has bloody turned out to be in contention for the wettest ride I've ever been on in my entire life. So instead of hunting around for a local restaurant, I've seen there's a skier here. I'm just going to quickly pop in, fill my belly up, and get to this campsite and out of the rain, because apparently there's an onsen on the campsite, which sounds like the best thing for me right now. So that's going to be me done on video for the day. I think it's going to be a pretty wet ride tomorrow as well, to be honest, but I guess we'll wait and see what happens. I'll see you then. Well then, it's day 2 of the journey, and as you can see, it's still pretty wet outside, but the rain has calmed down a little to what it was last night, and it's supposed to have a good chance of stopping in about an hour and a half, so that's some good news. And I'm also quickly discovering that while some people find it relaxing to have rain hitting their tent while they're trying to go to sleep, that's not me at all. I do feel rested enough though, so I don't think I'm going to be a menace on the roads. But unfortunately, even though I was able to put my bike in this nice little tatami room here, none of my clothes are dry, even though I've left them overnight here, so I'm going to have to deploy a whole new range of kit already. So I think it's time to pack my stuff away, go get a little breakfast, and hopefully the weather is a little better by then. So it's still raining right now, but the rain's still quite light at least. But I can only hope that it stops raining later on like the forecast says. Because right now I've got a really wet rain fly on my tent and I've got a really wet ground mat, so I need at least a bit of a break from the rain for a few hours to try and get that dry. And my cycling shoes are also now soaking as well, so that's going to be fun to dry over the next few days. Check out some of this scenery I'm riding into though. Absolutely lush mountain valley. Got about 70 kilometers to do today, but as of right now I'm about to start a 10-kilometer climb, so if you'll excuse me, I'm going to get on with that. Well, I'm at the end of this 10k climb now, and it's much nicer than the one yesterday because it was much more gradual. Because I had already started a bit of a elevation this morning, but I think now I'm about 600 meters above sea level, so hopefully, because I know I'm going back down quite a bit, hopefully I've got some good mountain descending to do. And I don't think my descent footage is going to turn out amazing from when it's really raining, because when the ground's wet and I've got this many bags on me, the fear that I have of just slipping out on corners on descents, it's just too strong. So I might be going quite slow, but I hope it's still exciting enough for you anyway. Well, this is where I was supposed to be going down, but looks like I'm going to have to take a bit of a detour. I mean, at this point I think I can only go down anyway, so let's see what this way has to offer. Ooh, this looks like it might get a little bit sketchy. Seems like I'm going to have to do some pushing to get around this one, like. Of course it has to be right at the tippy top of the road when I'm already 600 meters above sea level. Now there's a bit of a road closure. This has also made me realise that I've not loaded my bike up that heavy, to be honest, because I'm pushing it up here with one hand while I'm bloody looking at my phone. So it seems like what's happening here is, to go in the direction I want to go, I can either go pretty much all the way back from where I came, or I can continue pushing my bike even higher up, I think maybe another 100 meters or so, and get around it in a few kilometers. So I guess we'll go see what waits for us a bit higher up, eh? It's proven very tough, but I'm actually able to ride up here on my lowest gear. Very thankful I had that 50 to 34 chain set put on now. Come to think of it, going up some of this, I have no idea why I'm so scared on descent of slipping out, because I'm managing to keep my balance on this all right. Oh, as you can hear, it's taken out of me though. I've still had to push it up a couple of bits though, because there is a couple sections here where it's just basically mud and I'm going right through it because it's so misty right now. Good news is though, when you're at the top, you see some downhill now, so we must be right at the tippy top of this road. So let's see how sketchy it is going back down again. You know, I have said to myself that I want to get into mountain biking when I get back home to the UK, so what better time to start than now, eh? Well, it seems my GPS is trying to take me down roads up here that just don't exist, so I've been getting a bit lost. But it seems like the road down there at least is getting a bit more paved. And looking at my phone, even though I've got no signal right now, it should be coming to like an actual proper road soon, or soon enough, so fingers crossed. Well, now I've actually seen other people and a little bit of civilization, so at least I know I'm going the right way. But since I took so much extra time out of my day, I think I'm just going to put the camera away for quite a bit and just grind on forward. As you could probably see, this detour has led me to one of the best descents that I've ever done. Fucking hell, it's nice around here, isn't it? And now it seems like we've got our first bit of shared like cycle path, footpath infrastructure of the journey. And we'll have to see how this one is, because a lot of these sorts of things in Japan, they're quite old, so they can be quite hit or miss. Guess there's only one way to find out. Oh, finally some lunch. Fucking starving. Only the finest quality food, I'm sure you'll agree. Oh yeah, I'm meant to be up there, but we've got another road closure. But at least this time, I'm not up in the mountains. And it appears grinding up them mountain paths earlier have grinded down my right knee a little bit, because getting a bit of knee pain, which is nice on day 2 of a very long journey. But it's good because we're on the final stretch today, and tomorrow will be a little bit easier because it's flatter and the distance is less, so should be able to give it a little bit of a rest. And it seems like at this stage, playing about in the mountains so much, I might have to skip a couple of restaurants that are near the campsite that I'm going to and just buy stuff from the shop and eat it there. Need to check in at the campsite by a certain time, so I really need to get a move on at this stage. Might as well just stop talking about it then and get on with it. Yeah, I say all that and I literally go through the tunnel I was just standing in front of and got a little ramen shop here, so I think that'll be quick enough that I can risk it. I'm going for it. Let's see what this is like. Well, let me tell you, that was very nice. But now it's time for the mad rush to the campsite, which, with a belly full of ramen, I don't know how fast that's going to be, but let's find out. I made it to the campsite in time, but the administration building, up a hill. Of course it is. And I've even managed to catch an hour of sunshine down by this lovely campsite that's right by the water. All my tent stuff is going to dry. I've got a chance to wash my clothes tomorrow because I'm in a hostel in Kumamoto. So everything's looking up right now after kind of a shaky start of the day. But until tomorrow, see you later. Right then, day 3. And hasn't the weather got so much better? Look at this. And I'm glad my knee's feeling better as well, because there was times last night around camp where I was limping about going to the toilet and such, so I was a bit scared then, but I'm feeling a lot better today. But since my ride's a little bit shorter, it's just about 60 kilometers, so what I think I'll do is I'll head to a sports shop, because I'm going to Kumamoto, so I'll be passing through more like urban areas than countryside areas today. So what I think I'll do is I'll pop into some sort of sports shop to buy some like support or KT tape or something, because I booked my next accommodations like a bit far in advance, because I've got a streak now after 2 nights of camping. I'll be staying in hostels for about a week, I'd say, so I'll get some better rest and beds for it. So even though it does feel better today, I might as well give it a bit more support, and in a couple days time I will have a full rest day in Nagasaki, so give it a bit more time to rest there as well. I think my only real like steep hard climb is this first one immediately at the start of the day, and then the rest of the day we're going to be just chilling. So let's get this one smashed out, eh? Only 20 minutes of riding time in, and that's already the hardest riding of the day done. Let's go. I can't celebrate for too long though, because there is a pretty strong headwind today and I'm only going in one direction. But look at this though, so scenic. This wind slowed me down quite a bit. Don't know if you can see the flags at the end of this car park here, but blowing quite aggressively. Got a bit of coffee to perk me up a bit and get through it. And my first intentional vegetable purchase of the trip, because you know, I'm probably going to fall into the trap quite a lot of going to Kombinis and just buying really bad food. And then probably feel like crap afterwards for a while. But you know, just ignore the matcha cookie that's over there. Just concentrate on the good food that I'm having. So after a quick stop at the scenic 7-Eleven, I'm going to ride another 1 or 2 hours and have a look for some lunch. And there's no rushing about like yesterday. Get a chill all the way there. Well, as much as I'm able to chill in the strong headwinds at the minute. It's going to be no bigger place than this at a bloody massive shopping park. Let's see if they've got anything for me. Picked up some kinesio tape, so hopefully this helps me along a little bit. But after now carry some scissors around because I need to cut it a little bit according to some instructions that I saw on YouTube. I never realised Puma made scissors. I don't really know why they would make scissors, but it comes in handy now because they were like some of the only ones in the shop. But that store had a lot of choice though, so it's good to know that I've got that in my arsenal because they're decently common, so never too far away I guess, unless I'm super remote from having supplies. I'm about 30 kilometers out of Kumamoto at the minute in Hikawa, and literally I'm looking for lunch. It's 2 o'clock in the afternoon, Saturday by the way. So looking on Google Maps, there's like, you know, 10 or so restaurants. Literally everything is closed. Can't believe it. Well, according to Google Maps anyway, but I don't know if I can be bothered right now to go between each individual one to see if they're actually closed. There is 2 open though, and they're both bloody ramen shops. And as you seen yesterday, I had a bloody bowl of ramen yesterday, so I don't think I'm ready for another one. But since it's the town, there is a Kombini here, so I think I'm gonna have to go for that uninteresting choice right now, and then we'll get something good in Kumamoto when we arrive. And we need to go to a Kombini this time that isn't 7-Eleven, because all the ones so far that I've been in the rural areas that I've been through in Kyushu, they've all been 7-Eleven. Need a bit of a change up, need to freshen things up a little bit. But I hope the wind calms down just a little bit towards the end of the journey, because the rest of the weather right now is so good. But it's so frustrating sometimes when you're cycling on a flat road and you know you can put a good speed in and you know you'll have fun doing it, but the amount of headwind that I'm getting, I just can't do it. But as I say, everything else is glorious today, so I can't complain too much really, not after the last couple of days. Oh my lord, of course it is. The 3 closest Kombinis are all 7-Eleven. Oh well, guess I'll get to try the entire range of 7-Eleven before it's all said and done. Get a bit of ice cream in though to celebrate the sunny weather. Yeah, I've had absolutely no break from this wind all day. But just quickly looking at the weather on AccuWeather now, there has been a gale advisory on all day, so that probably explains it. Too bad I'm bloody going into it though, not getting an amazing tailwind. Tell you what though, the countryside I'm going through at the minute, bloody lovely. Well, we made it to our digs for the night. It'll be a shame that I can't spend too much time in Kumamoto, but I'm sure I'll get a nice meal out of it at least. Well, it seems like I've got myself into a little hostel. That's pretty much bordering on a hotel. This is the room I'm in, but like a hostel, just separated by a curtain at the front. But it's definitely the most spacious hostel I've ever been in. The guy at the front desk was saying this building's 103 years old. It's pretty cool. Oh, we definitely got some good eating right there. But I'm just walking around Kumamoto Castle now because I arrived when the castle grounds were closed, so unfortunately I can't go in and have a look. And you can't really see on the GoPro, but it's nice grounds to walk around anyway. But for today, see you later. Bloody hell, like I can't actually escape 7-Eleven. Well, hello again and welcome to day 4 of my journey. I've just gotten off the ferry from Kumamoto to Shimbara, where I've got about 70 kilometers to do now until I get to the city centre of Nagasaki. And I did end up realising pretty quickly yesterday after I bought that tape for my knee that with my bloody hairy legs that it doesn't really stick properly, so I ended up having to buy an actual support anyway. It feels quite nice right now. And it felt quite nice on the 10-kilometer ride that I take to the ferry this morning. But I do have a proper rest day tomorrow, so I do have a good opportunity to properly rest it and whatnot. I do have to sacrifice like a kind of, you know, mad cramming in loads of stuff into a one-day itinerary of Nagasaki, but for the long-term benefits of this journey, I think it's worth it. And the weather's a little bit warmer today, you know, the arms are out for the first time, and there's absolutely no wind so far. Strolling down to the ferry port was, ooh, magical in comparison to yesterday. Taking the elevation into consideration, I don't think this is going to be the easiest day in the world, but you know, I've left early enough now that I can take my time and, you know, go at a relaxing pace if I want to, you know, because that's the thing about cycling. If you don't really want to push yourself, or if you've got a little bit of a bad knee like I do, it's really easy just to, if you leave a little bit earlier, just go at a slower pace. It's fine. It's not a race at the end of the day, is it? Anyway, enough of me rambling. Let's get on with it. Third coffee of the morning. You can tell our buddy got up at 5:45. Right now you can probably tell I'm on a bit of a busy road and I'm on it for quite a while, so just looks like it's going to be one of those days where there's a lot of traffic. Since there is barely any wind though, I have been able to go much faster this morning, which has felt quite nice. I'm quickly nipping away from the combine here because just across this busy road you can maybe see a view peeking out over the other side, so I'm going to see if I can actually see anything because I can't really stop and have a look at it up there. The wide angle of the GoPro might be diminishing it a little bit, but it's a lovely view, something different from just the main road that you've been looking at previously. But enough of that nice stuff, let's get back in amongst the Sunday morning traffic. This road's been pretty brutal, like, quite undulating. Unzen Green Road, I think it's called. But I had to stop at this little section. Check out some of the views here. 45k to go, it's still comfortably the morning, so I think we've got time today for a nice cheeky long sit down lunch. A little bit of a break from the main road, that's what we like to see. Sometimes with these things, I do count my chickens before they hatch a bit too much. But at least this main road doesn't seem as busy as the last one. Now it might only be just after 10:30, but I'm pretty much smack bang in the middle of my ride right now. And I'm in an area around a few restaurants, so I guess there's no better time than now to have something to eat. And apparently there's a place that sells cheap fried chicken nearby, so loaded that straight up. Turns out it's just a food truck in front of a supermarket, but that'll do me. Went for a garlic chicken and rice set, which for 430 yen I think is quite good going. I've got a pile of plastic now, but I'm gonna have a pile of good times in a second. Definitely 430 yen well spent. Got just over 40k to go, so let's get back down to business. Just seen this pancake sign at the side of the road and I haven't made a quicker turn left in my entire life. Tiramisu pancake, eh? That was bloody lovely. I know I'm very full now though. And it's kind of making me think, like, even though I'm cycling up the country for like almost 3 months, I'm gonna manage to gain weight at the end. Oof. Well, since I've gotten off the green road, it's been pretty smooth sailing, to be honest. Nice mixed variety, very flat. It's been an absolutely gorgeous ride, but now I'm coming towards the end and I need to get over my biggest climb of the day because Nagasaki is over these mountains. It's an unavoidable thing really, but the last little stretch I've got to give it my all, but tomorrow I get to have a nice rest, so it's worth it for that. Well, I'm not right at the tippy top, but I think that's a decent amount of elevation I've just came up. And I think it was Japan's most windiest road. A lot of left, right, left, right, left, right, but here now. And now we're gonna go straight back down again into the center of Nagasaki. I'm just about settled in Nagasaki now, but the hostel that I'm staying at is another sort of like single room dormitory hybrid sort of thing, so I'm pretty lucky that I managed to find 2 places in a row that I like that. And after being able to give my bike a bit of a clean and put some washing in, I've had a little walk down to both the Hypercenter and Peace Parks, and it's a really weird feeling being down here actually. Knowing you're at the exact site of where one of only 2 nuclear weapons were used and where like tens of thousands of people died in that explosion. It's quite somber really. It's quite sad walking around here. I mean, the parks themselves are lovely, but it is really sad. And Nagasaki is also going to be my first rest day, which is tomorrow. And on my rest days, I don't think I'm going to film anything. I just want to keep them basically as worry-free as possible. So I think the next time I'll see you is in a couple of days. But now I'm off to find some food because I'm absolutely starving. And since I'm not cycling tomorrow, get a couple of beers in as well. So until a couple of days time, I'll catch you later.